Final, just for everyone who is watching, a reminder, the final will be played across 2 legs here of FIFA action, with the aggregate score being the final score overall. If it's all tied up after the second leg, of course, we go to extra time and then penalties. And starting this one off, it will be Vitality's Maestro in the away kit for France, in the white, shooting from left to right.
And not only is it across 2 legs, it's also across both consoles. It will start, however, on the PlayStation, as Msdossary did win the coin toss. He chose PlayStation as the starting console because his preferred console is the Xbox, so it means if it goes to extra time, it'll be on his console, so he has a slight advantage.
Also gives him the advantage of the fact if he falls behind in the first leg, he'll feel a little bit more comfortable, be able to potentially make that comeback with his favoured controller in his hand. But now it's Msdossary who's actually going to be coming forward, having 1 possession back. And one thing we should explain is a little bit about the play styles of these 2 players. Msdossary, such a well-rounded player, but Vitality's Maestro, I mean, this guy is just electric.
He just likes to go forward, he likes to attack his opponent, he likes to pressure them, doesn't give them much time on the ball. However, against a player like Msdossary, who is very good at reacting to how his opponent plays, he's going to be playing the ball around the park. He's not going to allow Maestro to press him as much as maybe he would other players.
Well, here is Maestro then. First time he's been in a grand final of a FUT Champions Cup. And this is going to be a new experience for him, going up against the best in the world with so much on the line. But he wins the ball back here. And R9 Ronaldo will find Cristiano Ronaldo in an advanced position up the pitch. Spreads it out wide now to Marcelo. You can see Mbappe's getting in behind his man on this left-hand side. Comes back inside. Nice build-up here. Coming in from Maestro, and there might be a chance to strike it. Ronaldo now on the edge of the box, and the first shot of the game does go to Maestro. But it's a comfortable save there for David De Gea, who's in between the sticks for Rogue's Msdossary.
Maestro, who really is in uncharted territory at the moment. The furthest he's ever got in tournament play would be the semi-finals back in FUT Champions Cup #1 back in November. So it's been a long old road for him, but finally he's made a console final and then a grand final.
Oh,
wow. What an opening that is for Msdossary. He just picks apart his opponents, and he's been able to open the score in here.
And that is what he does, Msdossary. He has ways to find goals in the very openings of match, just to take that pressure off of his shoulders and apply all of that pressure back to his opponent. Little ball roll inside to get it onto the stronger foot there of Cristiano Ronaldo, and a simple finish across the goalkeeper. First strike to the Saudi Prince.
And he does it in such areas where you don't think a goal is possible, where Maestro probably felt comfortable at that point, but there was space, there was a line of sight, and he is gonna shoot on sight. That's something Msdossary does very successfully. He will take every chance that's presented in front of him, and when he has a goal lead, he usually builds from that. So we need to see a big response from Maestro.
Yeah, Maestro very much on the back foot now, the pressure very firmly on his shoulders. Of course, we have only just started our first leg here, but the weight that the name Msdossary carries in the competitive FIFA world, that goal, it means more sometimes than a first-round game, than a second-round game against an opponent who you've played thousands of times before. And now it's up to Maestro to show us what he's made of.
And not only is Msdossary the current world champion, he's won 2 FUT Champions Cups as well. His name's already on that trophy twice. Could be a 3rd time if he wins here.
Well, Neymar steals the ball, and it's Ronaldo in behind again, and it's 2 now to Msdossary. He hasn't stopped picking up momentum as this tournament has rolled on. And he's carrying on from where he left on, and he's off in his last game. He's just steaming through his opponent. A simple finish again for Ronaldo. And the frightening signs here for Vitality's Maestro is how easily Msdossary is getting in behind his defence.
He's certainly going to be somewhat concerned. However, the positive is he has come back from bigger deficits. When he was 3 goals down in the semi-final versus Shells, he was still able to come back. He still fought hard. He just needs to find that same kind of momentum he found in that semi-final.
Well, maybe something from the restart here, but Msdossary defends it well. And 2 goals the advantage now to the Saudi Arabian, and it's a beautiful ball over the top, looking for the pace of Kylian Mbappe, looking to get in behind Sergio Ramos playing in that fullback position. But Maestro now, he's found a little bit of space at the back. Van Dijk trying to get back at Neymar. He might not be the quickest foot I am in the game, but boy, does he have the strength to make up for it.
You can see what Maestro was trying to do, though, trying to get those advanced fake shots just to get away from the defender, but doesn't quite have the space away from Van Dijk. And when Van Dijk gets that close to you, it's going to be so difficult to create any sort of space because of that strength you speak of, Mark. So really difficult for Maestro to break down the defence of Msdossary, but at least he's getting into the final third. He's getting past the midfield, which is usually the area that Msdossary does dominate.
Here comes Maestro again then, Mbappe. Couple of step-overs trying to fool Msdossary into making a decision he doesn't want to make. Well, that's easier said than done when you're playing against such an experienced customer like Msdossary.
Msdossary will be wanting to make a point in this arena. Of course, he has won a FUT Champions Cup here in London before, in this very arena. But if we think back to a couple of weeks ago when we had an LQE here, he lost to Nicholas in that cross-console final. It was a PS4 winner, as it has been many a time in this arena. We've seen 3 PS4 winners in LQEs, in licensed qualifying events, but we've never seen a PS4 winner on the FUT Champions Cup. So that does put a lot of stress on Maestro's shoulders.
Maestro win the ball back here, and you can see on the right-hand side of your screen as well. Roger Msdossary's road to this final, the players he took down. You can see some stats coming in from Maestro as well, and some of the performances he's put in. 51 goals scored and only 24 conceded. He really has had a standout tournament here.
I think across 4 games for Maestro, he only conceded 4 goals at one point.
We might concede another one here because Ronaldo's at the back post, and it's 3 now for Msdossary. A simple ball floated towards Cristiano Ronaldo, and the header, just too much power on it for De Gea to deal with.
But even though he only conceded a few goals in those 4 games, they weren't against Msdossary. They were against fantastic FIFA players. But Msdossary just seems to have this champion's mentality about him, his champion's play style. He reacts, he adapts to his opponent, he reads them so quickly. It's what separates him from the majority of FIFA players. If he notices any sort of weakness, he will expose that weakness, as he has done there now, taking a 3-goal lead in this grand final.
And that's something that Maestro has kind of struggled to defend against all tournament long. Conceding a lot of headers, especially towards that back post area. Kind of a reluctance to play a player there that has a little bit more height on him, a little bit more jumping statistics to try and deal with the height and the power of Cristiano Ronaldo. And we are approaching the half-time whistle here in this game, in the first leg. And there might be an opportunity here. Foot race here. Ronaldo tries to use the accelerated fake shot to get in behind Rio Ferdinand, but there's a reason that prime icon moments will be used in there, and that is because of exactly what he's just done there.
So much pace, but also Msdossary reading the game fantastically as well. Notices that Maestro wants to go for those fake shots to try and generate that space, but not allowing him by just putting his defender on the right side of the attacker. Maybe one last chance before half-time, though.
Yeah, nice scoop turn here from Neymar, and there's a chance here for Mbappe. Goes inside, but gets the finish all wrong.
Timed it red, as you saw just above the player's head there. You need to be hitting that green if you want to be creating a perfect chance. But unfortunately, all goes wrong, and maybe the pressure getting to Maestro a little bit there, timing that one red.
Yeah, you can see that obviously Maestro's changed that 4-4-2 formation as well, which means that that's one of the more aggressive formations you can have. You have those wingers who'll be getting forward as well as those 2 central strikers, and there's no hanging about here. We're getting straight into the second half here of our first leg. And Msdossary, he couldn't have asked for more.
And this is the perfect start for Msdossary. I mean, he's on his away console, he's playing on the PlayStation, he won that coin flip, and he has a 3-goal lead at the moment at half-time. He could be looking at 4 or 5 going onto his Xbox, and then who knows what could happen in that leg. That is a very scary factor for Maestro. He needs to answer back in this second half, and he needs to do it quickly.
Well, we know how quickly things can change, though, in FIFA 19. There is still hope very much in this game for Maestro. It's not over until that final whistle. Msdossary using those 2 CDMs to try and find the ball in behind, and Eusebio has found that ball in behind. And he's just picking him apart at the moment. A shrug of the shoulders there from Maestro, because he's realising he's up against the king of the jungle, and that is Msdossary.
I feel like that body language is the entire FIFA community of what can I do against Msdossary when he's playing this well. He is one of very few players that can be honoured with the title of one of the greatest of all time in FIFA. He's won titles across FIFA 17, FIFA 18 and FIFA 19. He really is one of the best of all time, and he's showing up here today in this grand final.
And he also has a ruthless edge, which means that even though he's 4 up here, he's going to keep streaming forward and really try and make you pay. Ronaldo, elastico inside the box to try and beat Marcelo. And it will just dribble out for a goal kick here, but Maestro, I mean, he's got to be a little bit shell-shocked here.
He is. I mean, he had such a good run on the PlayStation, beat some phenomenal players to get here. However, maybe this task could be just a little bit too much. You've got to look at the run that Msdossary had. He took down F2 Tex in his console final. Tex, who was one of the favorites for the tournament, an incredible console final that was. But the confidence that Msdossary is going to have coming into this game off the back of that win is really showing now.
Maestro then has been able to pierce through the defense of Msdossary a few times, and maybe it's the strength of R9 Ronaldo that could bully him back into a position to maybe create a chance. But again, Msdossary fighting back in that tackle and managing to win the ball back, and now you're seeing a few mistakes start to come in from Maestro as well.
In a game that, of course, as was explained by our wonderful analysts, both of these players have already achieved 1,500 Global Series ranking points, but it's for that money now, it's for that pride. $50,000 available to the winner. It's still $30,000 for second place. That's not so bad too, but we know full well that all these players wanting to make a living off of FIFA. Both of them only 19 years old as well, Mark, so a very bright future ahead for them in the FIFA seasons. Whether it be FIFA 20, FIFA 21, FIFA 22, I'm sure they'll keep going until we're extremely old.
Well, here's Maestro then. He's trying to slide it in. Ronaldo has got behind. And having finally gone to a position to test the goalkeeper of Msdossary, David De Gea comes up with a big save.
A slight mistiming again, not the finish though. Just shooting a little bit too quickly, not getting it perfect. It might have gone in if he had hit it green. However, it didn't, and he still finds himself searching for a goal. And we'll get some substitutions now and some changes for both of the players. Maestro's going to have to start looking to get even more attacking, which is going to open up his defence and allow Msdossary to kind of run rampant a little bit in this tight. But also this pause means that Msdossary can also bring on some fresh legs. You see the likes of Eusebio, the likes of Pele on the bench just waiting to make an impact. And we know they have made an impact time and time again in these tournaments.
They certainly have, and they're fantastic foot items to have on your bench to bring on as those impact substitutes. And Maestro wins the ball back here. If he can pick up a goal or two before the end of this game, it will fill him full of confidence, and that's a raking ball downfield here, and there is this chance here, but oh no! I think Maestro will want that one back again, and I'm pretty sure he won't want to see it again.
His body language is saying it all as well, just slumping back in his chair because he knows he needs to be taking these chances on his home console, on his preferred console. It's going to be even more difficult when he moves across to the Xbox for the second leg.
Well, here's Ronaldo. There's one elastico, make it two, and I mean, he wasn't allowed to make it three because Marcelo drops him to the floor. And there's a chance from the spot here for Msdossary to make this 5 and really make this a mountain to climb. Pele steps up, and at least Maestro keeps that one out. But on the follow-up, Pele gets it to Hullet, De Gea with another save, and he keeps it out. Ronaldo, there is the fifth.
Offside.
And even Msdossary knows it's a bit of an ugly goal, but it's gone in the back of the net. It's rubbing salt in the wounds at this point. And I wonder if Msdossary's already starting to think about that name being carved into the trophy for a third time, or is there going to be some sort of revival from Maestro? We saw how he had his semi-final. When he was down, he looked out, he looked like he had nothing, and then suddenly he exploded. He revitalized himself and he looked like a different player. He needs to find that same form again to have any sort of chance in this final now.
He needs to find something, and he needs to find it quick, because Msdossary is just looking so dominant at the moment. Still 15 minutes left to go in our first leg. And even little moments like that, after Maestro manages to get the ball back, he just gives it straight back to Msdossary. Here's Ronaldo, onto his right. De Gea makes the save, and Maldini will have to scramble clear.
Thankfully, Maldini's there to save face, because Maestro at this point, it's just damage control. He's just not going to want Msdossary to go into this second leg with a 6, a 7, 8 goal lead, dare I say it. Maestro just needs one just to give him that ounce of hope to say, look,
he needs a breakdown, I think.
I can score. But at the moment, Msdossary's just looked solid all around the pitch.
I think he needs that full-time whistle to go right now and just reassess the game plan. Moving towards the second leg. Eusebio, nice little turn, Cricketta. And a few skill moves linked together. Here is the chance now to boost the confidence.
Oh.
But De Gea makes the save.
I mean, he's done everything right.
شو مكتوبة لك يا ابني خلاص انت كده.
He was going the right way because he saw the goalkeeper movement from Maestro, but just not able to put it in the back of the net. Decent save.
Well, here's Ronaldinho then for Maestro. Hullet can't quite
يبعد قدام
compose
غيره.
himself on the edge of the box, and now Msdossary's just going to stream away again and really looks to add insult to injury. R9 powers past one. Into the box now, and Varane has to make a vital interception there for Maestro.
And I don't think it matters if you're a Msdossary fan, a Maestro fan, or a neutral. You just want to see Maestro get a goal here. You feel like he deserves at least one at this point, with some of the chances he's had, but just in front of goal, he's not been able to find that form. He's not been able to find the incredible shots that we've seen throughout the tournament. But maybe he can grab one in the dying moments of this first leg.
Vieira striding forward there. Ronaldinho, who has made a difference since he's come on the pitch, but Msdossary has been absolutely sublime in this first leg of action. Maestro's been hit by a whirlwind from the Saudi Prince, but maybe there is a chance here towards the end of the game. CR7 to Mbappe, but Sergio Ramos just steps in, collects the ball, and that will be the full-time whistle going now at the end of our first leg. Msdossary, what a performance from him.
An absolutely phenomenal one. He is the E-World Cup champion. He is our current champion. He looks like he might be a FUT Cup champion.
We'll be back after the break now for the second leg, and Rachel Stringer will also be catching up with the players to see how they're feeling.
Out all on social media saying he is the king of the jungle. He wants this. He's beaten Tex. He's beaten F2 Tex, who we're all saying is the special one. He's the one in control of the FIFA game at the moment. The crowd are absolutely loving it here. We're all loving it. It's been such an exciting, yet dominated by Msdossary first leg on the PS4. We can't wait to see how this second leg unfolds. To take you through this one, it is Mark Hatcher and Dan Gaskin. Can't wait.
Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time for our second leg now of our grand finals here in London at the FUT Champions Cup. Msdossary with a dominating 5-0 performance in the first leg. And what makes it even more impressive, Dan, please tell us.
I mean, it's on the PlayStation. He flipped the coin. He chose to play PlayStation first. It's not his home console, which means now on the second leg, he's playing on the Xbox, which is what he's used to. And Maestro is going to be on his away console, and that is quite scary considering he's just lost 5-0. I mean, I'm worried for Maestro, if I'm honest.
I believe in Maestro. I think there's a comeback on the horizons here. Something's brewing in the waters here in London. We've seen him do it before, but this would be one of the greatest comebacks we've seen in recent times because of the caliber of player that Vitality's Maestro is going up against. Normally when you say in the earlier rounds, you know, you make a comeback, fantastic stuff, brilliant. But this guy, he is special.
I mean, he would have to break a lot of records to win this game. Not only would he have to make one of the best comebacks of all time in any match, let alone a grand final, he would also have to be the first ever PS4 champion on the FUT Cup as well. But also, he's got to try and beat Msdossary in a grand final. Not many people can say they've done that because Msdossary is our reigning world champion for a reason.
And he's currently 5-0 up halfway through our grand final after the first leg. Of course, just to repeat, 2 legs of FIFA action to bring you guys at home, and it will be the aggregate score. And if we're tied up after those 2 legs, we will go to extra time and penalties. But the way this is looking at the moment, Dan, Msdossary very firmly in the driving seat.
I'm sure Maestro would take extra time and penalties at this current moment, but all he's got to focus on is trying to get through this brick wall defence that Msdossary has seemed to have built on this FIFA pitch, because at the moment he looks like he is really in cruise control, but he's also been pushing forward. He's been looking for more goals. He doesn't just want a simple win, he wants an emphatic one.
Well, this might be the perfect start for him. The first shot again coming in from Msdossary. Deflected behind for a corner in towards that front post. You can see 2 players challenging for that ball. And Maestro does deal with the early pressure here from Msdossary, something he is known for, Dan.
He does like to pressure his opponent, but it didn't really work out too well in the first leg. But now in this second leg, he just needs the opening goal to give him that little bit of a lift, to give him the belief that he can actually get back into this tie. However, you've got to feel like if Msdossary gets a 6th, surely that should be good night for Maestro. But I've seen stranger things happen in this tournament thus far, so you can't rule anyone out.
Well, here's Neymar going out wide here to Ronaldo. Couple of fake shots, heel to heel. A ball roll and a drag back, and that's a great ball into Eusebio. He gets a little bit fortunate with the ball falling back to him. But there is the 6th goal now. But it's actually not, because the linesman has put his flag up. And luckily for Vitality's Maestro, he gets a little bit of a lifeline here.
Yeah, that could have been all over already 10 minutes into this second leg if we had seen that 6th goal go in. But a little bit of fortune for Maestro anyway. I think he needed it. And now as he's going forward, can he actually find anything? Can he find a goal? He's tried to approach passing through the middle of the pitch. I think he needs to go wide and try and break into the box if he's really going to find a goal.
Well, here's Eusebio then coming forward for Msdossary. And you can see now, top right-hand side of your screen, a pause cued here by Vitality's Maestro. And that means tactical changes are on the horizon. That means a more aggressive formation needs to be brought out. Maybe some more attacking flair to the pitch as well, Dan.
Yeah, there's 2 ways this could go. He goes to something like a 3-5-2.
Or he could quite comfortably go 6 behind here, but he makes a last-second tackle.
And if he goes for a 3-5-2, it can go one of 2 ways. Either he can get some goals back, he can get back into this, or it's just going to mean Msdossary is going to have more room to go at Maestro. He's going to find more space behind those defenders, have more chances, and this could be 6, it could be 7, it could be 8. So that's something that Maestro will also have in the back of his head. Do I want to go and try and win this grand final? Or do I want to just try and get a respectable scoreline? We know what Maestro's like. He will want the victory. He's not just going to sit back and allow this to be an easy game for Msdossary. He wants to take it to him here. Yeah,
he wants to do something special here in London. He wants to write a story that everyone's going to remember for a long time coming. Not only to beat Msdossary, but to come back from 5 goals behind to pull off one of the greatest comebacks of all time. That's the kind of mentality you have to have in these situations. To beat such a great player. That's the Saudi Arabian, but again, Msdossary's defence has just been absolutely exemplary so far.
Yeah, Maestro's just not been able to get that final ball that he's been searching for. He wants that through ball, he wants that penetrative through ball so he can have that first-time shot on goal. But he hasn't been able to get it, and he's almost running out of ideas going into this second leg. Maybe at half-time, between these 2 legs, he spoke to his coach. He might have got a little bit of advice, but he still seems to be struggling to try and break through.
Well, here's Vieira then, coming forward for Msdossary, looking for that 6th. Pull it now on the edge of the box. Neymar, 5-star weak foot, can hit him on either side, and he's being allowed to just drive towards goal there without too much pressure. Coming in from Maestro, and having won the ball back there, Maestro just gives it away almost immediately.
Well, he's still got so many players behind the ball. He's still playing relatively defensively at this point. I kind of want a more aggressive formation, so I have players waiting on the halfway line, waiting for that counter-attack to lob it up to him, but he just doesn't have it available because he's still defending.
Here's Cristiano Ronaldo, Ruud Gullit on the edge of the box, trying to drive it out wide. You saw the space for Kylian Mbappe, but again, Msdossary just steps in before Maestro can even begin to think about going forward and just snuffs out the danger.
There's just no space in the midfield. At the moment, Msdossary's formation is just counteracting Maestro's. He needs to switch to something a bit wider to give him space on those wings so he can actually try and get a counter-attack.
Well, Msdossary's just controlling the pace of this one at the moment, almost playing with his food. At this point, 5 to the good. And finally, Maestro manages to wrestle the ball back. Around 15 minutes in-game until half-time, and that's a heartbreaker there. And that's a sign of a player who's not playing with a lot of confidence here. And it's not surprising when he's been put to the sword like he has from Msdossary.
It's obviously showing the sheer difference between these 2 players.
And here's Mbappe towards Ronaldo. Marcelo has to close that space down, which forces the shot over the bar there from Msdossary. It's always a surprise when there's any kind of opportunity for Msdossary to not see it perfectly timed or finding the back of the net. And that one sailed over. Vieira now again just gets dispossessed so easily, but he keeps it alive here. Maestro with a chance, finally forces the save out. De Gea.
أول شوطة يا راجل.
maybe this is where he can find his first goal. He might knock it short, which he does. So many players do this now. They flick it up, look for that back post. Eusebio, thankfully, is there to defend, but still possession. Unfortunately turned away, but it's pretty ping-pong at the moment, Mark.
شو تحب يا كابتن ظهران قدامه ومصر كلها
Msdossary
قدام.
wanted to prove a point. After his loss a couple of weeks ago to a PlayStation player in an LQE final, that player was Nicholas. He wanted to show that he's not going to be turned over easily in these cross-console finals. And Vitality Maestro was the best PS4 player at this tournament. Nicholas was here as well, so it's not like Maestro just got here because Nicholas wasn't. Maestro deserved his spot as the PS4 champion, and Msdossary is currently ripping him to shreds.
But Msdossary's coming forward once more here with Mbappe. Looking for that sixth goal. It's the only thing he doesn't have going for him at the moment. As we approach the half-time whistle, at the end of the first half of our second leg here, Maestro needs a goal, and he needs it now. There's only so much time left in the game to even create these chances, but the linesman's flag will be raised. And that just means possession as we tick into that 45th minute. We'll go back to Rogue's Msdossary.
Msdossary, who has won so much here in London. I mean, he is at home. He said his parents are here. He feels at home. He feels comfortable, not only in this arena, but the E-World Cup last season was in London as well. Just seems to be something about this place which helps him in his victories, it would seem.
Well, he's looking for another one just before half-time here. Mbappe into Neymar. You saw the space that Ronaldo had. But he wasn't able to just sneak that pass through the defences of Maestro there. And at the break, it is 0-0 in this particular game, but the aggregate score is the important one. And it is Msdossary who still has that 5-goal advantage.
Yeah, and Msdossary just taking a look at any necessary changes he might feel. He's actually going to get his strikers just to join the defence there by saying, all right, well, even though I have the 5-0 lead, even though there's only 45, I still respect my opponent enough that I still need my players to come back and defend. But for Maestro, I really feel like he needs a formation change. He needs more width, and he needs to stop giving the ball away in those positions. It looks like he's just been deflated here by Msdossary, and that's what Msdossary does so well. He just takes the confidence out of players by pummeling them into the ground, as he has done in this grand final.
Well, here's Maestro then. He's looking for any kind of chink in the armour here of Rogue's Msdossary. At the moment, he's coming up with nothing. But maybe a goal can change that. Funny what a goal can do, but again, the positioning of the players here from Msdossary on the defensive side is so good that Maestro can't even really get out of his own half.
I think that is worth pointing out. Even though there's a lot of wayward passes and it looks like it's a lot of mistakes from Maestro, it is Msdossary who's forcing those mistakes by positioning his defenders in very awkward spots for Maestro to try and get around.
Well, here's the Eusebio then on the attack then for Msdossary once more. Marcelo tries to find the ball inside to Hullet. Finally, Hullet will receive that ball. The drag back just shows enough of it to allow Maestro to win the ball back. And now Neymar links a couple of skill moves away, and now Maestro might be in behind, but there's Rio Ferdinand. Just when some danger was looming there for Msdossary, he just quite simply steps in and says, I'll have that back, thank you very much.
I just feel like Maestro's kryptonite is players like Msdossary. Maestro likes to play this quick passing game, and he doesn't have loads of skill moves to work with. He isn't a big skiller, and what I mean by that is he doesn't really attack defenders and try and beat a man individually. Instead, he goes for like 1-2 passes, etc., and through balls. But because Msdossary is so good at defending against players who play that passing game, Maestro's really, really struggling to get any sort of shots on target.
Approaching the last half hour then in our grand finals here at the FUT Champions Cup in London. And it's been one-way traffic in the favour of Msdossary, and he's coming forward once more. And this is where time management starts to become a factor, Dan. Just running that clock down, not taking any unnecessary risk. Even at 5-0, this is the championship mentality of Msdossary.
Yeah, he is going to be more than happy if he draws 0-0 on the Xbox, on his own console, because he already got the job done in leg one.
Well, he might make it 6 here. The drag back from Ronaldo. He's twisting, he's turning. And it's a last-second tackle from Maestro to keep the clean sheet in this leg. Neymar now with the cricketer. And a drag back, flicks it up towards the back post. Hullet's there, but he can't make contact with that ball.
But again, look, he wins the ball, Maestro, and there's no players there to play it up to. He has to go back, he has to be patient, which is also good. at least he's recognizing that he can't play those balls instantly. He has to play it around the pitch before he can get it up to his strikers, to his central attacking midfielders, but it's just instant pressure from Msdossary time and time again, with Hullet, with Vieira, lunging into those tackles, not giving Maestro any sort of time on the ball whatsoever.
And now you're going to see Msdossary just using those little triangles at the back, using his centre-backs to spread the play across the pitch, much like he is now, and try and drag those players, those defensive players of Maestro out of position. Mbappe now into Hullet. Ball back to Mbappe. Eusebio turns his man, tries the snapshot again. And you just think at this point, we've only 20 minutes left in game. And the way that the game has kind of evolved and been so heavily in the favour of Msdossary, this might have just been one step too many. The Vitality Maestro.
And maybe a little bit of respect from Msdossary as well, by kind of playing the ball around, by using that time management a bit to say, okay, I know Maestro is a very good attacking player. I needn't go all out and give him any sort of chance, any sort of hope in this game, so I'm just going to play the ball around, kind of frustrate my opponent. He did say they're good friends coming into this, so we know there is respect on both sides.
Well, here's Neymar then for Maestro. Ball across here to Cristiano Ronaldo, the scoop turn out of his feet. Almost created the opportunity for a shot. But again, Msdossary defending so well, and that's been the most impressive thing, in my opinion, about Msdossary this tournament. Defensively, he has been superb, and I don't mean putting players behind the ball. I mean the way he has attacked his opponent when they have the ball.
Msdossary has been a player who goes through phases of different styles of tactics.
Ooh.
And almost gets a 6th goal there with this different style that we're seeing in this tournament. He adjusts to every different iteration of FIFA, to every different meta that evolves in certain games of FIFA, and he seems to have found a perfect point now here in FIFA 19.
Neymar will just take the ball out of play, unfortunately, there with that fake shot from the corner. 13 minutes to go here before Msdossary once again puts his name on a trophy. And you have to wonder, is there going to be a consolation goal in this for Maestro? He has had a phenomenal tournament up until this point, reaching the grand finals, the cross-console finals, as Neymar almost gets in position to release a shot, but again, Msdossary just closes the space down, uses the offside trap to catch his opponent off guard. He has been so good at that.
He has been so good, but you are right, we do need to give so much credit for Maestro to get this far, to get to his first cross-console final in FIFA 19. He secured himself so much Global Series ranking points. He's earned the respect of all of his fellow PS4 players, and he is a player we will see at the playoffs. We will most likely see at the E-World Cup as well. Remember the name Maestro, because this is not the end of him just yet.
And one name nobody is going to be forgetting is that of Msdossary. He's reminded us all just how good he is here in London. The battle before this game was with F2 the man who had won 6 championships. Back-to-back championships before this tournament. And Msdossary took him down. Maybe there's one for Maestro here. And there is. It is a consolation. There is somewhat of a smile underneath that face. But I think he knows in this final he has been well and truly beaten.
Somewhat of a positive. He's winning the second leg on his away console on the Xbox against Msdossary, so at least he can take that away from this grand final. But it is all about Msdossary. This tournament has been about Msdossary. Is he the greatest of all time? Is he better than Tex? And you know what? He's answered any critics at this tournament. He won in Manchester in 2018 in the FUT Champions Cup. He won in London in December for FIFA 19. And then it looks like he's going to get his name carved into that trophy again for his 3rd FUT Champions Cup here in London.
And Msdossary is not letting up here. He's coming forward once more. Is there another goal to really cap off this champagne performance from Rogues Msdossary? Eusebio out to Mbappe, heel to heel, add another one inside the box with the drag back. Msdossary showing that he's got the skills to pay the bills as well, and Vieira now joins the attack as well. Mbappe for a potential championship winning goal. But unfortunately for Msdossary, he can't quite cap off what has been an incredible performance with an incredible individual goal.
And with just seconds left, Msdossary will be your champion here in London. An incredible performance in this final. So many questions asked about him. Is he the greatest of all time? Who knows? But I'm very proud of him.
Well, give it up one more time, ladies and gentlemen, in the Gfinity Arena. The champion here in London once again is Rome's Msdossary.
What an amazing results and performance.
مبروك يا عم مساعد.
Best players. And we're going to break it all down and do the trophy presentation right after this break.